Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about debugging Flask application within a Docker container using VS Code. One of the uh, near and dear topic for me. Okay, in this talk, okay, we'll get to know a bit about Docker multistage build concept also. So before we jump in, okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashok Tankala. So I'm working as a CTO at KC Overseas Education. So basically, what KC Overseas does is, okay, we help students who are aspiring to study abroad. We try to, okay, help them to get into dream universities. On personal side, I love building things like, you can say, websites or teams and products. Okay, and I love learning new things also, and I love sharing what I know, what I learned. Um, and you can reach out to me at any point. Okay, at Ashok at the rate of Tangaratla. This is my mail ID, and you can uh, get to know more about me at my personal website, so you can get other details too. Tangaratla. So you can find these slides at my blog.tangaratla. Let's get into the topic. We all love Docker. Okay, so I don't think there is no doubt about it. But not I can say all, but at least most of the people love Docker because the way Docker helps us, like we don't need to worry what OS we are using at Docker server level and at the developer level at the staging level production. Okay, we don't need to worry about all those stuff because Docker helps us a lot, okay, to take our software from development level to production level. Okay, so using Docker, okay, our application, okay, taking them to, okay, production is good, but where here and there you will come across a bug. So every now and then it happens, right? For as a developer, you come across a bug and you want to solve it, and if you want to solve it, then the best way is, okay, by doing the debugging. So but debugging in the Docker, I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's a bit of, okay, tricky part. So I just want to, okay, cover in this talk, okay, how can we do that? There are many ways. One of the ways I love, I like, I want to share to you all. Basically in this talk we'll do these steps, like we build a small Flask application, and then, okay, for to deploy that Flask application, we'll write a small Dockerfile for that, and then we'll understand the Docker multi-stage build concept, and then we'll update Dockerfile accordingly, and then we'll do the debugging, and we'll fix the bug, and we'll save the world. So without further ado, so let's start building a small Flask application. Basically, our application will have these files like app.py, where our Flask application code will resides, and the Docker file where our like, okay, our Docker commands and all. Okay, those all will stay. And there's a requirements txt, so where our requirement our dependency packages will mention. So let's build a small application. So our application, what it does is, okay, from the URL, we'll get a number, and end of the day it will spit out the random number between 0 to that number. Okay, so let me write a small Flask application. So we need random number, so let me, okay, I'm providing random. So let's create so we'll create a small route for taking the number, and then, okay, from the number to, okay, from 0 to that number, between that we want to spit out a random number. So let me write down the route, dot root. We want to give random integer only, right? So we'll take the random number only. Okay, then, so we want between 0 to the number given by the user, right? We'll generate one random number for that, from that, and we'll return it back. So one simple application where, okay, we just imported Flask and then ran int. function we need. We imported that too, and we created a simple route. It's going to give back the random number between the 0 and the number given by the user. So for this one, okay, except flask, we don't need any package. So in requirement.txt, I just mentioned that only. So let's write the Dockerfile. I'm going to use from Python 3.9 all pen. Let's use that. I'm going to use work directory /app. Let's copy the requirement file requirements.txt to our app, and then let's install the let's install the dependencies, and then let's copy our code base to our app folder. So we are copying everything, so we just need to start our application. So cmd flask run -h 0.0 -p 5000 port. I'm creating for the production purpose. I know I should use a flask environment and all. For now, let's keep it simple. Let's get into the main topic. Let's build our Docker image. Sudo docker build. Let's give the tag name flask number production image we are going to build. So let's build it. Done. Now let's run our Docker container. Sudo docker run. Let's expose the port 5000 port. That's where our application running, right? So let's give the image name. So let's run it. It's running. Let's run it. Localhost 5000/15. We got a random number. If you refresh it, we'll get some other number. So everything is going great. We released it, everyone is happy. Now client asked you to support negative random numbers too. So we just need to support the negative random numbers, right? So I will go to app.py. Here I will just change here that I'm allowing only positive, right? So support the negative ones too. Let's now we need to build the Docker again, and then let's run it. Stopping it. I'm building the Docker image again. Built. Let's run it. Let's go to our browser and let's run it's working fine with this. Let's give a negative one. Let's give -15. See, error came. Now we don't know why it came. Of course, we read the log, then we will understand. But after reading the error, also we are unable to understand properly. But if we do the debugging, then we can get hold of it easily. So, but to do the debugging, there's a lot. It's like there's a lot we need to do. If it is a normal simple application, it's not that difficult. But now we need to expose a extra port also, and we need to install a package like through VSCode we are trying to do, right? So we can install ptvst or debugpy package, and then simply we can run it. But if we do that, then indirectly what we are doing is we are putting that package in the Docker, in the production level Docker also, and we are sending it to server, means with production environment, which is crazy, which we don't want to. So but at the same time, when we want to run the debug, even the command also totally changes. So you can say, why can't we write another Docker file for that, for the debugging purpose, another Docker file for our production server purpose, another Docker file. So I don't want to do that too. Why? Because it's like duplicate, right? Okay, we'll use the same set of commands here and there, and that is not okay. You can say my developer heart, okay, my developer heart doesn't agree with that. So then you can say Docker multi-stage build concept comes into the rescue. If you think about Docker multi-stage concept, means multi-stage build concept, it's kind of inheritance concept. But if you say exactly, Ashok, what is Docker multi-stage build, I can say that okay, a multi-stage build allows you to use multiple images to build a final okay product. Means what does is okay, multiple images it use, and with that okay, it will build the final, you can say final image, like, or final product, you can say. So in multi-stage build, you have a single Docker file, but there you can define multiple images inside in that only, and with that okay, you will find create build finally a final Docker image. Okay, so sounds like okay, so many things I'm talking about. Like okay, there's a, let's say there's a build kind of okay small base image we created, and from that only we can okay, this is like base, let's say. From there we can create a variant test, means on top of it we can add couple of layers, and we can create a final Docker image for the test purpose, and for the packaging purpose we can create a final Docker image. But let me show with the example, that way okay, we can understand a lot better. So what we'll do is okay, we'll update the Docker file. Okay, so let's update the Docker file. Okay, so here if you think about it, okay, until here, okay, until you can say until here, almost everything is same. Okay, so because even the production or anywhere it is kind of similar, but on top of it, if it is a debug, at the time of debug, if I want to add okay, I want to install ptvsd or debugpy packages, and then the command is different. So what I will say is okay, until here, which I will take it as base, it's a base, I will call it as a base image. Okay, so and from here onwards to here onwards, it all comes under the base image. So now what we'll do is, let's build from on top of it, let's build the debug image. Okay, so just for the new image debug. Okay, so what we'll do is okay, just like inheritance concept, we'll take the take okay base image. Okay, base image is like okay our base image, and on top of it we are going to, so now from here onwards we'll call it as debug. I'm removing this command, go into the latest stage and we'll check. Okay, so now I'm going to use debugpy. So first of all, in this base image we know, right? Okay, we are taking Alpine one, and then work directory requirements, and then code we copied. Now this is like base image. Here on the debugging side, we need extra, right? We need what means we need to install one more okay package, that is debugpy. I'm not using ptvsd because that's deprecated, so we are going to use debugpy. So in this debug image only, that okay debugpy is going to there, and not in the base image, right? So now let's to do the debugging, we need to write the command. So let's write it here, python sm debugpy. We need to listen on 5678 port and wait for client nsm flask run its usual command. So 0.0.0 minus p 5000. So this command is this command is going to okay, I missed n. So this command is going to help us for the debugging. So this is like okay, for debug purpose it's fine, but let's say I want to take it to production level, then I don't want all of this. So I'm going to start from the base image, and here okay, I will call it as production. So prod, I will say nickname, you can say, or maybe you can put production. So here I don't need the debugpy package or anything. Whatever that base image have, that's more than enough for me. So what I'm going to do is okay, I'm going to run the application. So here simple flask run, okay, -h 0.0.0 -p port 5000. So basically what here, it's a base image, and on top of it, okay, whatever I need, based on that I created a variant, you can say. So here it's a production variant image, and here debug variant image, and whatever common is, I'm calling it as base image. So that way, one single Docker file using this Docker multi-stage build concept. So whatever Docker build image I want to build, I'm going to achieve that. So yeah, now what we'll do is, okay, what we'll do is we'll debug stage. We'll create a debug stage image, okay, and then we'll run that image or container, you can say, and then let's do the debugging, and let's fix the bug, and let's save the world. Let's build the Docker mesh, sudo docker build, and then here target. So what build target you're trying to achieve, right? So I'm building the debug image. So debug target, where, okay, in the Docker image, at the time of building, I'm targeting the debug stage. So after that, we need to give the tag name. So let's give it flask random number colon debug dot. So let's build it. Now let's run it. Sudo docker run -p 5000 port we need to expose, and then we need to expose 5678 port too, okay, because here that debugger, okay, part, okay, that port is from here only, from this port only we are going to do the remote attachment, and then we'll do the debugging. So let's give the name of the image, so flask random number debug. Let's run it. Now you don't see any logs. That's because, okay, from on 5678 port we didn't started debugging. It is waiting for the client, okay, initiate that. So now let's start the debugging. So we'll go to VSCode, and then we'll go to debug session. If you go to app.py, if you click on it, you will get these options. So one of them we need to choose. So here, okay, we'll take remote attach, okay, remote attach localhost, and then it will ask the port 5678 is okay for us, so we'll click on it. So see, now the debugging started and application also started, okay, and we want to see what is the problem here. So let's put the debugger here, and then let's go to terminal, sorry, let's go to our browser and hit the URL. So let's hit it. You can see here, right, it stopped. If you see here, the number came, this is -15, and from 0 to -15 we are going to get the random int. That is not sounding great at all, because there is no 0 to -15, right? There is a -15 to 0 between we need. Okay, we are able to figure out now. Here only the problem came also. So we just need to change the code here. Okay, if it is a negative number, we should needs to do it kind of reverse, and if it is positive number or 0, then we should do like this. So let's change the code here. We understood the bug, now let's change it. So if number is greater than or equal to 0, then this code sounds great. If it is not like that, else, then we just need to flip it, okay. So between number to 0, okay, and then, okay, we'll stop the debugging. This is the number between number and 0, okay. So now let's check. Okay, I'm putting the debug point here, and let's build the Docker. Okay, we are creating the created, and then let's run it. Okay, let's go to our browser and let's hit it. Oh, we didn't start it debugger, right? So let's start the debugger. Run remote attach localhost 5678. It started. Let's go to the browser and let's run it. Started, stopped at our okay number now -15. Okay, so the functionality is good. Yeah, it's called went to right place and the random number came. Okay, everything is working fine. We go to the browser again, everything's super. Okay, so now everything is working great. So let's build the production one. Okay, so if you go there, stop it. Let's stop it, and then let's build it. So here, okay, in the docker build, so instead of debug stage, we'll target to prod stage. Okay, so remember in the docker we used prod, so we'll use prod stage and we'll give proper name to it, proper tag. Okay, so we'll give prod, run it. Okay, production is done. Okay, this one is fine for us, so only 5000 port. Let's run it. Looking good. Let's go to the browser. Let's refresh it. It's working fine. We'll check this too. Looking good. Okay, cool. So I hope you all are able to understand okay, how we can do understand a bit about Docker multistage build concept. Also at the same time, how can we debug our applications in the our Flask application in Docker container. To keep it simple, okay, I'm using in the Dockerfile, I'm using the flask run. I won't recommend to run it in production. I don't want to put a lot of things in this topic. So but I will say in production I won't recommend you to run flask run at all. So instead of that, use some WSG server, WSJ server, like Gunicon or something similar to it in the production. I will highly recommend that, but for the talk purpose and to keep it simple, I used it. I think that's it. If you have any questions or any suggestions, if you have any suggestions, please shoot, or you can mail me at my mail address, ashok@tankala.com. Thank you.